Welcome back, everybody. It's episode 8, playing in the Great War mod on Hearts of Iron 4 as the nation of Germany. If you didn't see the first 7 episodes, there is a link in the description that will take you all the way back to 1910 to the beginning to show you how we got to this point. Right now, we're trying to find a way to defeat the remaining powers and end this war. And as you can see here, it's going 65% in my favor. And so if the leader of the Entente would just sue for peace, we'd probably be okay. So I guess what we have to do is we have to just start going after the larger nations. Japan obviously being the biggest. I can't really get at Japan, but I can go after British Raj, who only has somewhere around 30 divisions. So we're going to go after them. We're also going to probably start going after Africa and see if we can gobble up all of these territories in Africa that are being controlled by our enemies. So we're going to invade Persia. Not because I really particularly care about Persia, but because I need a front against British Raj, and it's easier to do that than to try and clear up all this area and get naval supremacy to be able to get a landing going. So that's what we're going to do. I'm also going to start getting this Adriatic Theater Force ready for a landing, probably in Tunisia. It's the shortest route from Sicily, and we'll start an invasion of Africa that way. So an interesting thing's happening as I am pulling forces off of this kind of disastrous attack around the Suez Canal area. As my troops are going over to the new front along Persia, I see the Austro-Hungarian army rushing forces down in to replace. So that's actually a really good thing. I'm forcing them to actually get involved. So they're sending troops down there to replace the ones that I've pulled off the line. So meanwhile, our boosting of popularity of the authoritarian party in the United States has got them up to 38% now. The problem is I have run out of the available political power to continue that, and it also has sapped political power from justifying my war in Persia. So I've had to cancel further efforts for now in the United States to finish up the justification for Persia, which now is going to go into January of 1923. Originally, it was supposed to be done around December 1st. All right, our justification against Persia is complete. We're also just about ready to invade Tunisia through the Mediterranean. So we don't need to call allies for this one. I think we can handle it on our own. And Persia, of course, joins the Entente and all the things that go along with that. But let's do this. We should be able to find our way across Persia relatively quickly. Not entirely sure why these forces aren't attacking. It looks like we've got some issues with supply and organization. That's not an issue. We will push down from the other side, and oh boy, we're getting some help. Some of our allies are coming over that way too. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the Adriatic Theater. I believe we should be just about ready with our naval invasion. We've got 9 days left. I'm going to make sure that the Navy is ready to go for that as well. We've had them patrolling up here, but I'm actually coming down through this way, so let's go ahead and add that territory to what they're covering. That should resolve that issue. Yep, 6 days. So we'll have 2 simultaneous invasions going on. One here in Persia, and it looks like it's going to allow me to control that territory, so that's nice. And it looks like we're probably going to push toward Tehran and maybe encircle them this way. In the meantime, we are ready for our naval invasion, so let's go ahead and kick that off. I had to go here because, as you can see, oh, he moved his armies over. No! How did he know that was coming? Oh, we pushed him back anyway. Excellent. All right, now what we need to do, obviously, is start Russian forces over there. We've got to quickly take the port at Bizerti and then push out from there so that we can get supply. We want to grab Tripoli as well. We're going to need that supply. So we're going to need to spread out as much as possible, grab some of these other ports and push through. Looks like we're not trying to advance yet, which is kind of disheartening. I'm not sure why that is. Naval battle off the coast of Italy. You can see 20 battleships, 15 light cruisers, 30 destroyers, and 4 are those carriers? Oh, armored cruisers, okay. We sank 4 armored cruisers and a battleship of the French, the Free French. And let's take a look here. I don't know why my additional troops are not crossing to help out here. That should not be happening. Normally, as soon as you get a foothold, you can do that, but it doesn't seem to be the case. I may get pushed off of there. Well, it looks like now the Ottomans are getting control of the territory that were taken from Persia, which is what I expected to have happened in the first place. I wasn't sure why I initially gave it to Germany. But we are right on the outskirts of Tehran. We'll be able to take that pretty soon. My invasion of Tunisia failed, so I'm setting up a new invasion. We're going to land somewhere over closer to Tripoli. We're going to land over in Libya, try to take that port that way, because it seems like they're guarding this area pretty heavily because it's such a short crossing. So we're going to try to land right here, see if we can spread out that way. All right. We still haven't taken Tehran, but we are pushing our way up through Persia, so pretty soon we'll have them knocked out, but more importantly, we have reached the spot that we were after, which is to open up that front against British Raj. So once we take out Persia, we'll mass those 100 and some divisions over here on British Raj, and we will start pushing into India. I guess we have to do Pakistan first. That would be right here. All right, there it is, May 9th. Persia has capitulated. We'll finish gobbling up their territory. I believe we are now ready for round 2 of the invasion of Northern Africa. Let's go ahead and give this a go. See if we have better luck this time. The main thing is being able to get additional forces there. It looks like it's going to be an unopposed landing this time. So we'll be able to push there. We'll real quick run over and grab Tripoli before he starts bringing forces down. Now let's go ahead and see if we can get additional forces across the Mediterranean so we can start spreading out a little bit. I want to grab that port right there. And the northern ports here. I think that's Benghazi over there. Yep. All right, now we're getting additional troops. It's going to be a whole different story this time. That whole army group's going to head over there, the Adriatic Theater group. Now let's start pushing out. Let's see how the cleanup's going in Persia. All right, just about there. A couple of territories left to grab. Looks like we've got 19 divisions. Are those in Nepal? Yeah, 19 Nepalese divisions about to be destroyed. Sorry, guys. Okay, and now we've got over here, we've got one Japanese division. I think we've got them. Okay. Now we redraw the lines after we take this last territory here. We redraw our battle line. Looks like it's already set there. We're going to kind of restart things. Let's see what's happening over in Northern Africa. All right. That's a pretty narrow area of attack right now because he's putting up quite a defense. Oh, boy. They've been tough over here in Northern Africa. I'm hoping this is going to relieve some of the pressure over here and allow them to finally break through, but it hasn't happened so far. All right, it's just a race across British Raj right now. There's really very little resistance. I think he didn't expect that I'd be able to get there. All his divisions are over in Africa. So this is going to happen pretty fast. Hopefully we get them knocked out without too much effort. Let's kind of get a sense of where they are right now. We've got a long way to go to knock them out, but we're still at about 64%. It looks like his fielded manpower is actually increasing right now, so that's a little concerning. All right, it's getting toward the end of July of 1923, and we are approaching Delhi. I don't know what all we're going to need to do to be able to knock British Raj out of the war. It's a lot of territory. We can also gobble up Nepal while we're at it, since they're a part of the Entente. But Delhi's going to fall in a matter of days here, probably before the end of July, if not shortly after. Oh, they're putting up a little bit of a fight there. They're going to drag this one into August, but we're just about to the line that I established that I wanted them to attack to. Once we get all of our troops up to that line, we'll re-engage. All right, Delhi has fallen. Let's see where that puts things in relation. It doesn't even take out half of their territory or of their victory points. So we're gonna probably have to go all the way, get Bombay, maybe even go all the way down here into Burma. Okay, so major development happening here as we have made a breakout in Libya. We've taken Benghazi. We're starting to ease the supply issue a little bit. Major naval battle just off the coast in the Mediterranean against the Japanese. We lost one battle. It was a pre-dreadnought one, so not a huge deal. One battleship, I should say. 7 destroyers as well. But look at what we took out. 3 battlecruiser 2s. We took out a total of 16 light cruisers. We took 20 battleships, a lot of them pre-dreadnought 2s. Most of them, that's what they were, so that's pretty good. 19 destroyers, 3 aircraft carriers, one sunk by the Bismarck, one by the Nuremberg, and one by the Braunschweig, and then 3 heavy cruisers. A major victory for my Navy that pretty much obliterates the Entente Navy in the Mediterranean. And we're continuing to pump out tons of ships. I've been doing research. I just researched my first aircraft carriers. I'm still not quite caught up to modern technology with my Navy, but we're getting there. So you can see we're making the breakout now in Italian territory. And we are well on our way to finishing off British Raj. We're going to have Kathmandu pretty soon. Nepal should be out of the war at that point. Let's see what the overall war looks like. It's now 77% in favor of the aggressors. Montenegro has capitulated. Portugal has capitulated. And you can see now his forces are down really, really low. He's lost nearly 15 million men. Mid-September now. Nepal has all but fallen. We're just waiting to take the capital of Kathmandu. British Raj as well. Looks like we're going to have to probably come down here and take Rangoon, but we've just about gone all the way down the peninsula. Kathmandu is proving to be a bit of a tough nut to crack. We just got to get a few more units in there to help seal the deal. In the meantime, let's look at our other front. The nice thing is we've got enough territory now to where we're not facing the huge supply issues we did before. There's still some supply issues, but not real bad. Now what I want to do is I want to push over and try to nail Cairo from this other side. We can finally kind of reconnect our forces, and then we can just start pushing out into the southern parts of Africa. Here's where we're at now. Now it's saying 79%. I don't know at what point they sue for peace. British Raj is almost out. I would guess Japan's probably the leader of the Entente at this point. There we go, 28 September. Nepal has capitulated. The same thing's going to happen for Bhutan here in a second. As soon as we can finish marching into that territory. There they go. Now we get to go finish off the last of the forces in British Raj. There really aren't many forces left. And it looks like we're about to have ourselves a breakthrough across the Suez Canal and into Cairo, into Egypt. We'll see if they can make that happen. Oh, I really thought the Ottomans were going to do that, but I guess we're going to have to go over there and help them out. Oh, who's this? British Raj is out. Didn't really capture that much in the way of material from them, but you can see now, oh, that actually gave me control of some of these areas down here. Who got the rest? The Ottomans? Well, the Ottomans are just controlling everything right now. Where's that put the war? That puts us at 81%. We're now almost 3-1 in terms of the forces in the field. Man, I can't believe we're going to have to go after Japan, but we might have to. But for now, we can go take French Indochina, as it was called. Eventually Vietnam and also Cambodia, I'm guessing that is. Let's go deal with them. All right, Cairo has fallen, and now we're moving toward Alexandria as well. Well, I shouldn't say we, those are my allies, but I'm not really involved in that. So it seems like landing in Libya, even though it was kind of slow going, and I'm still not making a lot of progress over there, it had the desired effect of opening up a second front in Africa, which really just began the ticking of the clock as far as how long they were going to be able to hold out in that spot that they had held out in for a couple of years. So now they're surrounding Alexandria. They haven't taken it yet, but they're surrounding it. We're going to connect our forces pretty soon. And now we are quickly gobbling up French Indochina. You can see here the United States has the Philippines, but we're not too worried about that. We may just start going ahead and marching down Siam, take some of this UK territory there. But I think at some point we're probably going to have to go after Japan, because I don't know how else I finish this war off without going after the big fish. And that really is kind of the only big fish that's left. So we'll take this a little bit further. We'll finish off Free France over there, and we'll try to see what we can do in Africa, and then we'll call this an episode. So we're going to push down here and go after Tobruk. Egypt is out. All right, so that takes care of that. I guess our allies are doing their jobs over there. Oh boy, the Republic of China has jumped in. Holy cow. We suddenly have a major new enemy. And you can see the fielded manpower just doubled for them, or nearly so. How many forces does Free China? I mean, obviously they have pretty much unlimited manpower. But they've got hundreds of divisions. Wow. Well, the good news is, if we can take out China, then we'll be on the doorstep of Japan. But man, suddenly this Adriatic Theater Force, well, it's the Asian Army Group actually, this Asian Army Group suddenly feels inadequate for the task. We've got to quickly deal with the last of the Free French forces down here. And there's the United States. Okay. This just took a major turn. The U.S. and China have jumped in on the war. We're going to stop right there. This is a short episode, I know, but I've got a lot of regrouping to do, because this just turned into the war basically for domination of the world. Because if I take on China and U.S. and defeat them, that's pretty much every world power left except for Japan. I was hoping to finish this war off and then regroup and refit and get ready for a fight against the U.S. Apparently that's not going to happen. So I've got to get my naval forces ready to start protecting my coasts. I've got to deal with China as best I can, but really now this is going to become a defensive war. I'm gonna go on the offense against China, but I'm going to start setting up my defenses on the mainland of Europe. I'm probably going to go ahead and pull out of Africa and get ready for the U.S. Let me know your thoughts, not only about what we just did, but also about what's coming. And we will see you again as soon as we can with another episode. Thanks for watching.